Yo guys, welcome back to another PSGL video on the channel. Today we are here for Miami on round either 8 or 9. I can't really tell anymore. All the rounds are just starting to blend into one at this point, and it's just getting difficult to keep track of what is going on. But what I do know is that we are P2 in the championship. We are still second, but our win last time out in Spain and Patrick's P4, this has helped us gain massively to him. And this race, we're going to be looking to push on and keep going, and then see if we can maybe even get close to him. Maybe we can get it within 3 points if we win this race and he's P2. Maybe it can be closer than it currently is. Right now we are doing our final lap of qualifying. I forgot to record for like the 7th race in a row. I forgot to record the first banker lap. However, we did go P1 in that banker lap. It was a pretty decent lap, all things considered. And currently we're 1.5 tenths up. And it wasn't a great corner, so in the back of my mind, I'm always thinking that Patrick has nailed that corner and that he will be up on us right now. Braking as late as we can, getting it chucked nicely into the beginning of the Mickey Mouse section. It's a nice section in qualifying, but in the race, this is not a good section. We really need to nail these corners, which we don't really do. We lose time to our banker run, which I didn't expect. And then especially out the last corner, I had an awful line. It was just not good, and I had a really poor exit. Down about 1.5 tenths from when we entered the final sector. But we're going to be braking really late for the last corner, using the skid on the rears, and we're going to drift around the final corner, run up to the line, about just under 2 tenths up. We do set the fastest time with a 1:26.6. Is anyone going to be able to beat us though? Currently fastest, and no one is going to be able to beat us. Seeing who's left, no one that hasn't already finished the lap is going to be close to us. We have gone on pole by 3 tenths. With Patrick in P3, which gives us a buffer. So this is huge. Going to be going into the race with a medium hard strategy, keeping it nice and simple, taking no risks about a safety car. This is the safest and fastest strategy for us. We are going to be on 5 red lights with Chizzy in P2, and away we go. We get an awful start. That's an absolutely awful start from us. Overtaken by Chizzy before turn 1. And then Patrick is on our outside now. We lock the rears. I understeered into him a bit. We go off. We nearly hit the wall. And we have instantly let Chizzy go away. And we're under attack from Patrick. This has been an awful start. And we just really need to just figure out how we're going to hold off Patrick at this point. Because he is absolutely rapid in race pace every single week. And the fact we've even managed to stay as close as we are to him in the championship is, I'm pretty happy with that. I think this man's going to make it pretty far in league racing. He's only 12 years old as well, which is crazy. Like that's made me feel old, and I'm not old. Like it's crazy. Currently on lap 1, we've managed to defend him pretty well. Chizzy has already broken the DRS. He did that after the first 2 corners, and it's instantly looking downhill, and it's looking like we're going to get overtaken. We do have a lot of straight line speed on this car, so we see his proximity error. We look back, he's not close enough. He's going to move to the inside, but he's not going to be close enough to make the move safely, so we managed to hold him off. And at the end of lap 2, we actually managed to break it back into DRS, so we have managed to keep up with Chizzy. Midway through lap 2, on the run onto the long straight in the middle sector, Patrick is way too close, and I don't know if you saw that, but on my brake, my brake's a bit messed up. Like I'll be lightly touching it, and then it'll just break. Like it'll just stutter the brake, and it'll lose me a lot of time, which is what happened there. We ended up basically braking in the straight, out of my control. So you saw me pause it there, because the easiest fix for it is honestly just to stamp on it as hard as you can. I thought it would break at the start when I started doing it, but it's been like a good 3 or 4 months with this issue now. I'm kind of on top of it, but it still stumps me sometimes. We go for a move on Chizzy, in at the final corner. We brake a little bit too early, and we could have broke a lot later. He sticks it around the outside. We try and get on the power as quick as we can. He's still there on the inside. We use a bit of battery. We pull out ahead, use our DRS now, and we're going to be ahead into P2 at this point. But I was saying that the brakes just, it doesn't work, and it's really annoying when it decides not to work. But that's why you saw me pause it just then. Looking for a move on Patrick, we send up the inside into the final corner. He locks the tyres a little bit. He's going to stick it outside the same way Chizzy did the lap before. We're going to try and hold it round. Slight bit of contact on my front and his rear wheel. Still going to try and make a move round the outside right now, braking as late as we can on these tyres. We keep it around the outside. We're going to have the inside for the next corner. I just can't leave the space.
You can't go side by side.
You can't go side by side in that section. We lock the rear tyres. We both lose time to Chizzy, but ultimately we did get ahead, and this was not reported. It happened twice. It also happened on lap 1, but I think we just, as the race went on, the more we raced, we realised you can't fit two cars through the second and third turn just simply because the cars are too big. The understeer just won't let you do. Like, you can, but you'd have to sacrifice a lot of time, as Patrick is making the move on us into the, doesn't even know what turn this is, but he makes the move. Chizzy is now on our outside because Patrick went slower, but we do manage to hold him off. We're going to be P2. We're going to stick on board since we're right next to the final DRS straight, which is the best overtaking opportunity on the track. So we let him go. We didn't try and fight it. We made it look like we were going to stick up the inside again. We didn't, just to make him lose a bit more time. Going to use our DRS again, and the wings I have on this car, they work for the race, but they're so slow if you're just doing hot laps. We put up the inside. It's an easy move. He looks like he's going to hang it around. He doesn't have the momentum to do so. And we're up into P1, going on to the start of lap 9. Going to see if we can defend him, because he looks like he's going to be going for the move. He gets closer and closer. He puts up the inside. We leave him space because his arrow was there. And then this time, third time's the charm, we managed to get through that section safely. He decided to back out of it after seeing the last 2 times not working out for him. But end of that lap, which we did make the move on, awful run through that corner. We lose the back end massively. We get an awful exit, and we're going to be under pressure from Patrick, definitely, he's making the move. We're just going to let him go. But we just need to make sure Chizzy doesn't get close enough. We're going to let Patrick move back across to the racing line so we all don't lose as much time, and we can just continue to run away, because it's only the top 3 in the train right now. Rays and Blackberry Hall now line us in P4 and 5. They aren't close to us. This has been the case since lap 3, I'm pretty sure. We just managed to break away. Going through turn 1, I was saying about my setup on the back straight before Patrick made the move. My setup is heavily, what's it, low on downforce? High on downforce? I don't know. But we have straight line speed, and as you can see that by us making the move easily on Patrick. And it's just easy to make moves on the straights. It's a good race setup, but during these middle sector, this corner specifically, I struggle massively. It just doesn't turn through the S section and the long left-hander. It is so annoying, this race. I was fighting it the whole race. I say it just there, the S section doing us awfully here. And so much so, we're going 3 wide going into sector 3. We lock the rears massively. We just avoid contact, but Chizzy and Patrick have made it through. We look for a move on the outside, but we don't have the momentum or grip to go for it. And this section of the track may be the worst with this setup. There's the middle sector, and then there's those last few corners. They're really, really poor. I can't stand them, and the car struggles massively through there. Patrick gets up into P1, getting past Chizzy. We're going to not use our ERS, but we are going to send up the inside, just braking later. He's going to hang it around the outside, and we do have the better traction right now. However, he does keep his nose in, so we do have to leave him the space, with the risk that we spin each other out. I'm not trying to do that. I've got a championship to fight for. There's no worth taking the risk. But on lap 12, my tyres are really struggling. I'm pretty sure I'm boxing lap 15 or 16. but it's really hurting me right now. We go to the outside, easily get past Patrick. Again, he just has so much more downforce. That's what it is. I don't have low downforce. I've got high downforce. You know, I don't even know. I couldn't tell you. But either way, he is very fast through the middle sector and the final sector. But I'm able to make that time back and potentially hold each other up in the positions on the straights. So basically, I've sacrificed the middle speed to keeping position. Overall speed is low on my priority right now, with me just keeping straight line speed. However, my wings being low does not stop DRS working to let Patrick easily through. I backed off a bit because I would have liked to make him go back to the racing line, but he does decide to box this lap actually, so I let him by for no reason when I could have just could have fought him, and it would have been a lot easier. Turns out I'm actually boxing lap 14, which we do. Chizzy, does he decide to stay out or does he follow us in? Chizzy decides to follow us in. So we're going to be boxing to the hards to take these 14 laps to the end of the race. Like I said, it was the safest option of strategy. You can always start hard mediums, and that'll usually be the best strategy. But when there's a chance for a safety car early on, you want to be on the mediums just to cover off all the options. And moving from mediums to hards is pretty quick as well as going hards to mediums. You'll just be a bit more slow by the end of the race. But it's just a safe strategy, like I said. We're going to try and stick within the DRS of Patrick, which we just drop out of going through that corner. Just showing how little movement we have through the corners, basically. It's a lot harder. It's a boat, basically. I'm turning a boat through that corner, which costs us the DRS. Roger Well let Patrick through. He goes very deep. He is on old tyres right now, and he is holding us up. Patrick is getting the chance to run away through this section because he's just holding us up so much. We might lose a second, and we'll run the risk of being out of DRS, which he actually already has done. We will get DRS, and we will easily make the move on Roger Well right now. But up ahead is Patrick, who is now 1.8 seconds ahead. And that's not what we needed at all going out of the pits. On our outlap, we did not want to already fall out of DRS. We needed to stay in because Patrick has undercut us. He will be on one lap all the tyres come the end of the race, which won't be ideal for us. Moving on to lap 16, just going to let Chizzy through. Again, this is going to be, or this has been, and it will continue to be, just an easy point of the race. It's just cutting to the clips. This is all that really happens. We just let each other through. Nothing's really fought until the final few laps. Like I said, same lap, we just let Chizzy through. It's easy to just leapfrog him again. There's really no struggle with the leapfrogs on this track. Still not quite in the DRS of T. Patrick though. Still 1.3 seconds. Moving on to the next lap again. We're going to let Chizzy through, let him move back to the racing line because we need to be hunting down Patrick's DRS. We can't let him stay ahead for much longer. Same lap again, 17, just jump frog Chizzy again. Fourth time in a few laps, and by lap 20 we have caught well back up to Patrick now. We're right behind him. We almost make contact with him there actually, needing to take evasive action and brake harder than I would have liked to. But we're back basically. I think I skipped when I got back into DRS. I don't think I realised when making the edit because this was 3 weeks ago. This race and edit was 3 weeks ago, and I just have not found the motivation to do the voiceovers, which is my bad, but I'm feeling the motivation. I'm feeling like I'm going to get a few out in the next few days. Easily going to get past Patrick again, just moving to the inside, trying to move over to the racing line. Brake really early. He does try and go around the outside again. We leave him vulnerable to Chizzy though, which is pretty nice. I'm going to try and back Patrick up into Chizzy as much as possible, because Chizzy isn't in this championship fight. He joined the league like halfway through as a reserve, and then he got a full-time seat because this league has seen a wide array of drivers in it. And it's annoying because last season every driver was so permanent, but this time we've had 36 separate drivers be in this league be in this tier at one point, which is absurd numbers. A lot of them left there was at PSGL in the first and second round, who seemed like he was going to easily win the championship. He was just miles ahead of the pace, and then he just left the league, which is probably the reason I'm in a championship fight. But let's give this talk up. We're going on to the final lap in P1. I've got a plan for this final lap. We're gonna try and hold him up as much as possible through the first sector, and then we're gonna see if we can just hold on, basically. Going through turn 1, 2, and 3 as smooth and as quickly as we can on these age tyres and on the setup that we have. Trying to get through here nicely, but it's still, at this point, it's the most frustrating because I am so slow. Up into 4th gear, foot to the floor, ERS, drain it. We're going to use all our ERS. We're going to try and stay ahead on both of these straights and hope that our low wings can carry us to the win. We need Chizzy to make us end right now. We really need a miracle here. Patrick is on the 1 lap older tyres, remember, so we should be a bit quicker through this slow section. But he's 2 tenths behind us. He's really close. We have no opportunity to let him through and play DRS games. And on the last corner, I have completely messed up my lines. And it's practically over. We're going to drain all our ERS. We're going to try as hard as we can. But Patrick, once the DRS is open, is going to just easily get around. We're going to send up the inside again, but we just aren't able to do anything. With a slight bit of contact, we lose the back end, and now we need to just hold off from Chizzy. So close, but I couldn't play the DRS chicken because
I thought I had the speed.
Chizzy was back in P3. I just wasn't able to risk dropping to P2 to get DRS. I was hoping the straight line speeds and the low wings would have carried us on that final lap, but unfortunately we've lost a further 6 points in the championship to Patrick, which now leaves us 7 points behind, because I think we actually got into within 1 point with our win back in Spain, but losing out in a 3-way fight for the win is very frustrating. 1/10 in it. Maybe just poor decision making, or if I just got a better exit out of the final corner on the last lap, it could have been different. We would have had a much better chance with the overtake at the end, maybe keeping it much more even side by side, but unfortunately that's not been done. Sorry about the wait for this video. It has been 3 weeks since I've raced in Miami, so I was just kind of winging the commentary, but I'm feeling in the mood. I'm feeling like I'm going to get a few voiceovers done tonight. So remember, if you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. It would help me out a whole bunch, and it'll probably get me more motivated to make more videos. Either way, I'm still going to do them, not going to quit. PSGL next season is starting in 2 weeks. We will be there for that. See ya.